across the world and in every sort of sphere, everyone wants to see change. Problem is, very few of us actually want to change ourselves. So that's what we want to talk about today. We want to share with you 4 quick things to be aware of on the journey of being the change you want to see. How about that? Okay, so we've heard people say, whether it be yourself or even a member of your team, that things aren't the way they used to be. And you know what? You'd be right, they'd be right. Now, would you rather be driving around in a horse and cart right now? I'm sure you wouldn't. See, that's the thing about progress. Progress is a constant, and we need to be ready to embrace that. Okay? So the first thing I want to share with you of the 4 is the what of change. So you have to be very clear on the thing that you want to see happen. What are your objectives? What are your outcomes? You need to be absolutely specific with what you want to see. Because unless you're specific what you want to see, there is no direction. In fact, there's a saying that without clarity of vision, any direction will do. So be clear with the what. The second thing is the will, which is dealing with the attitudes of the heart. What's going on the inside? So then, what's your big why for doing this change? Think about some other things. So be honest with yourself as to some of your reasons for not wanting the change. You might be rebelling against it. You might be finding some reasons for not doing it. How about being honest with yourself and say, okay, what's getting in my way? Or even ask your teams, what's getting in their way? What are they thinking about those real blockages? How about that? Have a good, honest conversation. Now, there are 2 types of motivation that we need to be aware of when we help people to look at the area of the will. Think about towards motivation or away from motivation. Away from motivation is a bit like the burning platform. Like, the house on fire, get out of Dodge. Sometimes you might need to use that. Other times you might need to use the prize or a noble quest, which ties everyone into their desire to acquire something new. Their desire to get that new prize, that win, that thing that really inspires them. That's towards, and you're tapping into that kind of motivation aspect. Thing is, the other thing about our brain, we are 5 times more aware of threats than we are of rewards. So when you're thinking about helping your team to get over it and yourself, think about that. You have to keep on rewarding. You have to work really hard at rewarding yourself and saying what the good thing is. What's the benefit? What am I getting out of it? Because your brain is going to be going, fire, 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 problems. So you know what? Think about that. Okay? Right. Third is the skill of change. Simply, you cannot put new wine into old wineskins. So you're going to have to upgrade your tools, your processes, your systems, your thinking, because you cannot operate a new system with an old mindset. It just won't work. So what do you need to upgrade? And the thing about learning a new skill, anytime you learn a new skill, it's actually quite taxing. Think about it. Any complex task, say for instance like tying your shoelaces, really, really complex, isn't it? But you learned it. So then the thing about it, once we're learning a new skill, sometimes there's a bit of a challenge, but the quicker you're prepared to get involved in that learning, the quicker you're prepared to start on that journey, the better. You see, everyone who is brilliant at something was first rubbish at it. Guess what? They were first rubbish, but they at least started and they grew, because it's the development on the journey towards mastery. And that actually takes us onto our last of the 4 steps, which is the do of change. You see, the thing is, talk is cheap. By itself, talk doesn't actually get it done. So then it's about making the unfamiliar familiar. Recently, we went on a road trip down to Bordeaux. Really, really nice. Now, I'm driving in a right-hand drive vehicle in a left-hand drive world. No, sorry, wrong way around. I'm driving a left-hand drive vehicle. See, that's how confusing this thing is. A left-hand drive vehicle in a right-hand drive world. I've been driving my particular way, which is the right way, I have to say, for many, many years. And then I find myself going around a roundabout the wrong way. Can you imagine how disorientating that is? But through patience, through persistence, the unfamiliar started to become familiar. And that's what the do of change is. You've got to get busy. You've got to do it. You see, you can't theorize this. And this is where many organizations have a problem. Is they fall into the trap of the knowing doing gap. In that we've exalted knowledge above action. You can't just get stuck there. You need to do. Get busy doing. You see, an amateur practices to get it right. A professional practices so that they can't get it wrong. And it's all about practicing, keep on going, keep on getting it. You see, there's no Jamaican saying that's linked to private victories. You see, private victories are the platform for public victories. And the old Jamaican saying says this: you got to learn to dance a yard before you dance abroad. In other words, you got to practice. Practice at home, practice in private, practice, and then once you've done that, then you can max it in public. It's as simple as that. Okay? The last thing I want to finish on is this. There's a formula that encapsulates all of this in one go, called the Beckard-Harris formula. The Beckard-Harris formula says D times V times F needs to be greater than R. And let's break it down for just 1 second. Dissatisfaction, you need dissatisfaction for change. Because unless you're dissatisfied with your current position, there will be no motive to change. Dissatisfaction, add to dissatisfaction is vision. Where do you want to be? What do you want? Then multiply that again with first steps. Do you know what to start off with? What's the first thing you're going to do next? Now, all those three combined need to be greater than your current resistance holding you right where you are. Think about it that way. So 4 quick tips. Get it going. Until next time, speak to you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.